Welcome to episode 3 of our killer must-have WordPress plugin series. Today we're going to be taking a look at wp-dbmanager, which is a great way to fully optimize, backup, and keep in shape the database that supports your WordPress. It's all about tables. Tables are basically what keep all of the information in the database. This is the behind-the-scenes stuff of your WordPress. And if you're like me, you don't want to have to think about what goes on in that database. You just want it to work. Well, sometimes the database starts to overflow. Think of it like your hard drive. Sometimes you need to take your hard drive and go over to the utilities and defrag the hard drive because the information's dotted about everywhere and it's not working to its optimal capacity. Well, this is the same with your database for WordPress. Think of it like a bonsai. You need to keep a bonsai trimmed to make sure that it looks beautiful. Otherwise, it's going to turn into a little shop of horrors and all kinds of bad things are going to happen. So why should you have this plugin? Well, if you don't have it, it's quite possible that you could lose comments if your database goes wrong. You could lose content, which is a nightmare, and at very best you're going to have sluggish performance. So keeping your database optimized is what it's really all about. This is the key. Well, today's plugin is going to take all of the pain out of the situation and make it really simple. Let's face it, you have two choices. You can do it the slow way, which I'm going to show you in just a minute, or you can do it, obviously more preferably, the fast way, which is exactly what this plugin was built for, to make it easy, to do it right from WordPress. So let's start off by looking about what you'd have to do if you don't use the plugin. Forget optimizing from within WordPress. You're going to have to go into your server, go into the back end, find the section on databases. Then you log in to wp-dbmanager, and that's going to open up a deliciously geeky, horrible looking interface for you to do some stuff with. So here you can see that I've zoomed into the particular choice of where the WordPress is installed here. Now once I've done that, I see in front of me all of the different tables that make up my WordPress. So here we see over on the right you've got the tables, actions, records, type, and all this other information, including where we look over right on the far right, something called overhead. Now overhead has all of the information that's spilling over. It's the stuff we don't want. And when this starts adding up, this is when problems start happening. So what we want to do is eliminate that overhead in all of the cases. Now, if I don't have the plugin, I've got to come in here quite away from my WordPress. I've got to find that information, I've got to tick the individual boxes, and I've got to get rid of the overhead manually each time, which is a bit tiresome when there's a lot easier way to go about it. Here's the fast way. You're going to head directly over to the website that you'll find linked directly underneath this video and find yourself here, which is the wp-dbmanager webpage. Here you just need to click on the link that you can see here, and that will download the plugin folder directly to your desktop. Once you've clicked on that, you'll find that the zip file has probably opened up for you. If not, do that manually. And then you've got a folder. Well, this time you need to open the folder. You can't use the one that you can see directly. So you need to find the folder within the folder, and that's the one that you're going to drag into your WP Content Plugins folder. So WP Content first, open that up, find the Plugins folder, and then just drop that in, FTP that up to your WordPress, and that plugin's then going to be waiting for you directly in WordPress. So all you need to do is activate it, and you're going to have all of these cool features directly within WordPress. You're not even going to have to ever go back into that back end of your server. It's all manageable from within WordPress itself. So go to the plugins menu, scroll on down, right down to the bottom, because it's going to be obviously wp-db. So that's right down at the bottom, and when you find the one that you're looking for, just click over and click on activate, and then you get the nice yellow bar telling you that it's been activated, so you're ready to go. As you can see now in the menu, there's a whole new section called database on the far right, and that gives you all of these different options to play with. The first information is just the database information. That's going to give you all of the details about the database and the different tables on it. You don't really have to look at that if you don't want to. Obviously, for people that are more into this kind of stuff, you can get stuck in. But if you're a beginner, no need to worry about this. We can go straight up to the options and we can get started on using this plugin. Now, one of the cool features of this plugin are the backup capabilities, which are also featured in one of the plugins that Chris Pearson looked at in our original WordPress series. What's cool about this plugin is that it has backup and some other features as well, so you can kind of roll it all into one. So you've clicked on Backup DB, and that gives you the information about the current status of the database. All you need to do then is just scroll down and click on Backup, and that's going to create an instant backup for you right then and there in WordPress. You don't even have to download it if you don't want to. It's going to be stored for you, ready to be used later if you ever have any problems. And it's really worth backing up at least once a month or before you make any changes, because if you need to go back, this is a great way you can just restore it instantly. And you do that from the Manage Backup DB option in the menu. This gives you a number of different options. It's here that you'll see any backups that you've made, and they'll all be listed for you, so you can select one of them, and then you've got some different choices as to what you can do with it. You can set an email where it will be sent to automatically. You can download it if you want to download it for another computer, restore it if you want to go back to that point, or delete it. So this is a really great number of options, and as I said, you've not even left WordPress. You can do that right from here. So for something that all you have to do, if you have any problems at all, is come in here and you're good to go. So those are the backup features. Let's look at the optimization features, because these are very cool, and this is where the plugin really comes into its own. All you have to do here is you can make a selection from all of the different tables that you've got in there. If you don't want to worry about that kind of thing, which personally I don't, you just hit on optimize, because by default they'll all be set to yes. If you want to get your hands dirty and get a little bit more detailed, you can turn certain ones on or off. Hit optimize, and that's going to instantly swipe out all of that data, all of those excess overheads we were talking about before, making sure that your database is really clean, basically eliminating any problems that you may have. So that's very cool. Next up, there are a couple more options which are pretty much going to be for the geek core. If you're really a beginner, ignore these, but you can go down to two options which are empty, drop, and run SQL query. If you don't know what you're doing, please just stay clear of here. This gives people with advanced sort of knowledge the chance to drop a table, which means deleting the table, or to empty a table, which means swiping all the rows in the table. If that means nothing to you, as I say, you never ever have to go into this option, and it's probably advisable that you don't. Ditto for run SQL query. So if you're quite familiar with SQL and statements and coding, this is all going to be fine, but otherwise just leave it be. And that's pretty much it. The last thing I'm going to take a quick look at is DB options, and these are all automatically configured for you, so you don't really have to concern yourself with this unless you've made some advanced changes to the way your WordPress was set up. It's here that you can dictate the path to your MySQL dump, the path to your MySQL, and the path to your backup directory, and this will all be filled in for you automatically. But should you want to make changes and know how to make changes, you can do that from here and update the options. For beginners, all you ever need to worry about is optimizing maybe once a month, just making sure that your site gets optimized and backing up as much as possible. Let's have a look at the results then. We'll go back into the back end of the database via wp-admin. And here you can see, if we go over to the right hand side, that all of those overheads are now gone. They've been eliminated by the optimization of this database, and that is what this plugin does best: optimize your WordPress. So if you make sure you run this once a month, one little click of the button, back up as you need it, you have a killer WordPress plugin well worth adding to your arsenal. So that's it. You should now be sorted with a fully optimized WordPress. Come back next time when we've got some more killer WordPress plugins for you. This has been a screencast by Michael Pick. If you want to find out more about me, head on over to michael-pick.com. And this has been a production for Splash Press Media.